Michelle is a musician with albums released as Everyone Except Me and artist behind the post-apocalyptic webcomic Stray Cats. She's kind, a bit shy, and furiously creative. Henrique is a filmmaker with over 24 films and TV shows as producer, director, and occasionally host. He also released a couple of music albums. He's bombastic, larger than life, and tenacious almost to a fault. Together, they've been best friends for a decade. This show is awkward.
So today, that's a terrible opener. Just the fact that I had to put an extra in there. It's like, what emphasis am I really looking for? But today I'm doing a talk. Oh. A talk as a filmmaker, like an expert talk. Mm-hmm. I don't want to give like a ton of details because I don't want to give out like actual gossip. But I'm doing a talk at an event, and I was the last minute fill-in because they lost their original speaker.
Right. And
this group has in the past kind of treated me like crap. So I'm trying to like get myself kind of amped up to do a good job.
Yeah.
Because apparently I've decided to do the worst thing you can possibly do, which is be the bigger person.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that.
It's good though.
So to give people some perspective, and of course, if anybody who's listening to this has followed me at all on social media, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Like there's no real way to hide it. But there's an organization, and they've always kind of vaguely acknowledged my existence, even though they're dedicated to film. And I am one of, if not the only full-time directors in the Dayton, Ohio area. I'm not 100% on that, but I feel like if there was more than one, we would all have lunch once a month.
That would be nice.
Honestly, yeah. If you're listening to this and you are a full-time independent director in the Dayton, Ohio area, or even, surrounding areas within 25 miles, let me know and we will set up a brunch every month. Yeah. I'm not even joking. I really would fucking love that. It'd be so nice to not be alone.
Would it be okay, like if they were part-time, but they work like 29 hours or something?
I'd need to see tax paperwork.
Okay.
But anyway, but no, so the last time I contacted them, it was when my TV show Boggy Creek, the series, had released, which was kind of a big deal. Mm-hmm. I'd been hired to make a TV series. I made it in the Dayton area, and it still is. It was on one of the, the biggest platforms in the world. And I contacted them and just kind of said, hey, you guys might want to, do a little piece about this because, it's Dayton and it's a kind of a big deal. And their response was that they called me Henry. Like I don't want to read it verbatim because then I'll actually get angry, but like they literally said, hey Henry, which is not my fucking name. And then they said something along the lines of like, we've definitely promoted your stuff a lot in the past. You should consider becoming a member, which means paying like $30 a month, right. or maybe it's $20 a month. And I was like, wow. So I went on their website. And sure enough, they promoted one thing I did once in 2016.
That's a lot, though. That's more than not any. So that's a lot.
I mean, you remember when I got that email?
Yeah, I do.
Because I was like, wow. And then fast forward, not even 2 months. Oh, that's the best part about this. That wasn't even 2 months later.
Yeah.
It was barely 2 months later. And by the way, to that email, all I responded with it was an asterisk and how you spell my name. And they never replied. That was all I responded with. So you fast forward 2 months and their executive director Facebook's messages me on Monday and is like, our guest speaker canceled. Can you fill in on Wednesday and talk about distribution? And I thought about it for like 20 minutes and I was like, I should just do it. I should just clean and load my kindness shotgun and get ready to execute some Mother Hubbards with kindness.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm going to do. And that's tonight in like, oh shit, that's like in 5 hours. I should probably prepare. I have not prepared at all. I have to speak for 30 minutes. But they were like, if it's 25 minutes, they're not going to care.
Okay.
And then they'll serve snacks, which of course none of them I'll be able to eat.
Oh.
Maybe they'll have fruit. I'm going to hope that they'll have fruit. Maybe they'll have fruit.
Maybe they'll have a vegetable tray.
Don't tease me with things like that.
Sorry. You could bring a vegetable tray and then be like, no, it's mine.
It's just mine.
Yeah.
I have like a piece of like of just saran wrap over it. And I'm like lifting the saran wrap, eating some, and putting it back down.
Yeah.
But so I have to speak for about 30 minutes, but I'm allowed to show trailers and stuff like that. So, it'll be fine. And then there's a break for snacks, maybe 20-minute break for snacks, and then a 30, 40, however long minute Q&A. Just as long as there are Q's and I have A's, we do it, and then it'll all be over around 9 o'clock.
Okay.
It doesn't sound bad at all. And to be frank, like I don't have that big of sour grapes because I could totally like go up there and just bash the organization that brought me there. And there's nothing what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Put their hands on me? Like that's like
no, they might. They could like usher you off the stage.
Oh, but I'd be screaming Attica the whole time as they're like walking. Attica, 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 Attica. That's what I would do. That's what I would do.
Good.
I've always promised that if I'm ever physically removed from anywhere, that I would yell Attica. Yeah. People don't even get that reference anymore, do they? Do you even get that reference?
Yeah, I do. But also, I don't know. Maybe.
That makes me happy that you get it. That makes me so happy. So, I'm going to do that. And I don't feel bad about it. I actually feel pretty good about it. I mean, I'm going to get to talk to people, potentially like-minded people. I'm just hoping that the room is going to be kind, like and friendly. And this is something I totally didn't mention. I did a talk for them 5 years earlier when they had a different executive director. And actually I talked about the exact same thing about independent film distribution.
Interesting.
But, it's been 5 years. And to be perfectly honest, I mean, I've made a ton more money and done a ton more things in the last 5 years than I had when they talked to me originally.
Yeah.
When they talked to me originally, I'd only been making movies for a living for like 4 months.
Ow.
But I've been making movies, for like 9 years. Mm-hmm. So now I have a lot more, I guess, clout. So, man, this must be my penance for making you talk about Pumpkin last week on the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, all of a sudden it's like dawning on me how like incredibly candid I'm being and how I'm like talking about my ego and stuff. And I'm like, oh crap, what am I doing? I've made a horrible miscalculation.
I'm sorry. I guess it's too late now.
Oh, it's always too late. I don't believe it would have to take a very big situation for me to erase what we've done, or if you just asked.
I wonder like what that would be.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I just realized as I was saying that, like, it would have to be something big. And then I realized, like, no, or you would just have to ask. If you were just like, could we not do that? I'd be like, yep.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, it's our thing that we're doing. I'm going to respect your wishes. And also, like, how often do you ask me for anything?
I try not to.
I know, which is annoying.
I'm sorry. I probably wouldn't ask, even if it was something that I was concerned about, just because I don't want to upset you. So
that makes me sad. You should be able to tell me if you don't like something and you want me to not do it.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm gonna be self-conscious.
Don't worry. I don't feel that way. I just wouldn't tell you if I did.
See, for 10 years of our friendship, I have legitimately been like, I hope she's not just being my friend because she's too nice to tell me she doesn't want to be my friend. And now you say this.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
That's exactly what you would say if it wasn't, though.
I don't know how to fix this. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. Okay, so anyway, shit. So so I'm going to do this talk, and I like, one thing that I excel at because I enjoy it is public speaking, which is a weird thing, I think, to say.
I understand. So
you do?
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty good at public speaking.
Oh, there's no doubt you're good at public speaking. I didn't want to make the assumption that you enjoyed it.
Oh, I totally do. Yeah.
Oh.
But I didn't know that until I started playing music. So, yeah.
Which is one of my favorite things about seeing you perform is that you talk a lot on stage.
Thanks.
And you're funny. You can't help it.
No.
See, by me saying you can't help it right when you said no, it sounds like you disagreed about not being able to help it, not that you weren't funny. And now we have to move on. It's too late. It's too late. It's on the record. But no, so that's really interesting. I didn't know that you considered yourself fond of public speaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I guess at least.
So yeah, that's interesting because, you're a somewhat shy person.
Yeah.
More so quiet than shy. Mm-hmm. There's a difference, isn't there, from quiet and shy, right?
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not really sure what it is. So,
well, I feel like shy might be that like you have difficulty communicating, as to where quiet is just that you need like an excuse.
So both of those then?
Perfect. See, a perfect diagnosis.
Yeah.
We nailed it. Good job, us. So when did you discover that you liked public speaking?
It's pretty much just been, because of music. Also, I talked for like an hour about punk once in front of a class act that I shouldn't have spoken for an hour about. It was really supposed to be like a really quick presentation, but they were stupid enough to give me a topic that I knew stuff about. So I just talked.
See, that's the worst is when they give you stuff to play off of, you talk forever.
Yeah. But I like talking to people especially about things that like I feel like I can talk about, then they make sense. So, and I don't know why. So,
well, because I think, you're a passionate person. You are like, you spend so much time creating things. And you spend so much time doing the work. No, like you do. I have plenty of creative friends, and I also struggle sometimes to be consistently creative. I know that I have a massive output of creative stuff, but I struggle sometimes. And you're always drawing comics. You're always playing music. You do a lot of it. You do.
Yeah, I definitely don't do enough. So,
but I say the same thing about myself. So there you go. We're ill. So, So you know what? This is actually, it's funny. This accidentally kind of transitioned to a topic I wanted to talk to you about anyway. And that helps get me away from talking about my ego.
But we could totally keep talking about that, because I don't want to interrupt you on that topic. Like that was good too.
I'm okay with, we talked a good deal about it. So, but one thing I've always wanted to ask you is, what was the first show you ever played?
Oh, I played a show in New Jersey, kind of near that town.
Yeah.
Damn it. Like in one of those areas that are like, closer to New York, kind of not northern, like past New York City, but like
sure. I know what you're talking about.
Like I want to say
almost
like Montclair.
Montclair. Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's right by Jersey, or maybe not Patterson. I don't know. Let's not talk about New Jersey too much. Immediately people stop listening.
Yeah, exactly. I understand. No, but like it was like not in Montclair, but in one of those towns that are kind of around there. And I just played at somebody's house show. It was like a band that I had seen previously that I liked. And I think
how old were you? Were you in high school or were you in college?
Oh God, I was in college. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. Like the first show I ever played was in high school. But I played
that's the one I'm most curious about.
I played with a band.
You were in a band?
For like 2 weeks. I was in a band for like 2 weeks.
What were they called?
I don't remember. But
that's
it started with an A.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. No, I like just joined a band because they wanted to be in the school battle of the bands.
Oh yeah, like a talent show battle of the bands type thing. Were you playing guitar or were you singing or
I was playing guitar.
Electric guitar?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was really, really bad, and I used a bass tuner. Because I was like super new at everything. So I didn't have my tuner with me, and I used someone else's tuner like when we actually played the show, and it like detuned my guitar. And so like it was a disaster. It was really bad. And of course, like it was bad. So like we never did anything after that. And
you only played one show or?
Yeah, we only played one show, and all we did was play one song. And I remember the song, but I can't remember what the artist is right now. But I will eventually, and I will just blurt it out when I remember.
And was the one show you played the Battle of the Bands?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So you did that in front of the whole school?
Well, I mean, whoever came to it, it was like,
oh yeah, it wasn't a talent show. It was a Battle of Bands. It's different, right? Because a talent show is usually during school hours, so like everybody has to attend.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It was I believe it was after school, and I mean, there were a lot of people there because we had a couple of like really decent bands in my school for some stupid reason. Oh wait. Yeah, there's actually a band from my school that for a while there, like I really liked. They were like a pretty good metal band. They called something. It doesn't even matter anymore because they're like obviously not still together, and they changed their name. Oh, they were Catharsis at one point. But I don't know if that was after the name change or before it.
I just wish that their name was Catharsis at some point, as opposed to just Catharsis, because that's a great name for a band, Catharsis at some point.
Yeah.
You should draw me like a metal band t-shirt logo of a band name called Catharsis at some point. I will print us both those shirts and we can wear them.
Okay.
I'm not even joking. If you do that, I'll print them.
Okay, I mean, I'm not really good at metal lettering, but I could give it a shot.
That's even better.
Cool. How about like, and then just someone shrugging on it?
That's perfect. Yes, please. Okay. If those exist, I will link. If you actually make that, I will link the shirt in the show notes at awkwardshow.com if people want to wear.
Oh my god.
Catharsis at some point. See, and I was never going to merchandise the podcast, but that's like too good. Okay, you've committed now to doing it.
Okay.
So if you go to awkwardshow.com, you can find your Catharsis at some point t-shirts.
Okay, I don't have that much time. All right.
You've got 2 weeks.
Okay.
Oh my god, my cheeks hurt for that. Okay, so beyond the Battle of Bands, so you were telling us though initially you were playing vaguely around the Montclair-ish area.
Yeah.
And that was your first time playing. Kind of was it Everyone Except Me, or was it kind of prototype of it?
No, it was. No, it was Everyone Except Me. Yeah, because I did play. It's not like I had never played live before that. I just never played a show. Like I played a lot of like open mics and like things that like weren't really shows. Like around my college, like we're just gonna have. I guess that was also an open mic. Like everybody's just gonna come outside and play stuff type thing. But like my first actual show was with Everyone Except Me. Yeah. Which
is you and a guitar named Jack the Freshman.
Yes.
So for those who didn't know. So what like I want to know, this is one of the things that's always fascinated me about you is you being kind of quiet. I'm just fascinated about like what encouraged you to play live in front of people and stuff. Like, I'm just kind of curious, like, were you terrified? Were you like, what was going through your mind? Like the first time you played in front of people singing and playing,
like ever stuff?
Yeah, ever like open mics. But I mean, although I mean, in my experience, shows are always scarier than open mics.
Really?
For me, they are.
Okay. I mean, I think open mics are pretty scary because like people aren't even there to hear you at all. And you're just there going like, hey, you should totally hear me. I know you didn't come for this, but you should. I'm just going to work my way into your evening.
See, to me, that's almost more fun because I don't have to worry about as many people showing up. One time I played an open mic with my drummer and there was a group of people that were like eating dinner at the venue.
Oh, geez.
And they were like I could tell they were trying to pack it up because they saw like a drum set setting up. So I called them out over the PA and said, why don't you just sit for one song? And then we did Miley Cyrus is Pregnant with My Two-Headed Love Child. And I just played and sang the ever loving hell out of that song. And they stayed for my set.
Wow.
And I was just like, yeah. So I get cocky when I have that, but many other times people like left the moment we started playing.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I can't blame a lot of them too. I mean, just a drum kit can be a lot noise wise when you like wanted to sit down and have some pizza.
Yeah. Maybe they shouldn't have come there during an open mic if they wanted to just sit there and have pizza.
Well, we opened the open mic. So it's like they sat down for dinner at like 8 o'clock. Yeah. And at like 8:30, they started setting up an open mic, and at 9 o'clock band started playing. Well, groups, whatever place started playing.
Whatever
And just for a side note, I mean, you caused my first open mic.
Yeah.
So, so you're to blame,
Sorry.
really, for me playing in front of people. But no, so you don't find yourself particularly scared, or tell me what the mindset was, at least back then.
I mean, I was, but like, I mean, I was definitely scared, like when I did that high school show that we bombed. But like by the time I played like a show, it's not like I hadn't been playing guitar for a while. I had, done open mics, and I was already like a street performer. So it's not like I wasn't used to like people hearing me, I guess. Mm-hmm. I actually don't remember finding it like really, really terrifying or anything. Okay. I don't know that I did well. I don't remember like leaving and going like, oh fuck, I messed that up or anything. But it was my first show as a thing, so I'm sure I didn't do great, but I don't remember it being like intensely panic causing either.
Well, what about your first open mic? Do you recall? I'm
pretty sure that was scary, but I don't even remember where it was.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was very likely in like college. It's possible. Yeah. But I don't know for sure, and I like don't remember there being a first one. I just remember going to them. So,
do you remember? Yeah. Oh, sorry, please.
No, I'm not. I remembered another open mic that I went to, but I don't know if that was the first one. So,
well, and so what was your anxiety like just starting? I mean, in general,
like.
I mean, like, were you scared or were you confident or like? I mean, I'm just curious.
I don't really know. I've always said that like I'm not really scared of playing music. It's just everything else that is really upsetting. Yeah.
That's a good point. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about making movies. I don't really get nervous about like being on set making a movie. It's just every other element.
Yeah.
Which is most of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more nervous, like that I'm going to get somewhere on time to play the show, that like it's going to run super late and I'm going to, not feel good the next day, that people are going to try to talk to me, or that people are going to think I'm weird because I'm not talking to anyone, more so than playing the show. So, okay. I
mean, that makes sense. So that's interesting though. I mean, that you really just kind of like, you just go for it when you're in front of a crowd,
I guess.
Well, and that's, but I can see that though, because like I said about liking public speaking, I can stand in front of a ton of people and just talk, and it doesn't really bother me. Like I get nervous leading up a little bit because I'm like, I hope I am ready. But once I'm up there, I'm like, well, fuck it. I mean, like there's no more time to panic. And I love that feeling. I love the feeling that there's no more time to panic. That's the best.
Sorry. Continue. No, it's okay.
It's just like a perfect relief of anxiety for me is when I'm actually in the shit and there's no other choice.
Yeah.
It's so freeing. It feels so good to and I'm mostly just talking about public speaking. I found playing music to be even easier because I got to hide behind an instrument and then eventually behind a whole band. Mm-hmm. They kind of, I mean, granted, I was like the front man or whatever, but like I wasn't, I don't know. There was just a lot more to not have to worry about, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
When I used to play with my friend Sam playing washboard, she had horrible stage anxiety and it never showed. And one time I was like, why do you do this? And how do you stand this if you're so like, if you get so nervous in front of crowds and stuff? And she was literally like, cause no one's looking at me. Because she's just sitting in the back wearing like a black button-up shirt with a hat playing washboard, like sitting, and I'm the one standing in the front screaming about pornography or whatever it was. She was like, I'm not worried about. So of course, that meant that the next show I like asked everyone to please take a moment and look at Sam.
And look at her. Yeah.
Because I'm not a good person. I'm not. So yeah, there's like a big relief to being on stage. But so the weird thing is I almost never don't feel like I can go on a stage and talk. But one-on-one, I do have moods, of like, I'm not very social right now or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, and I kind of agree. And I think we've kind of talked about this already possibly on this show about like structure and things. The thing that like is okay with me with public speaking or playing music in that context is like if it's set up and someone is like, this is the thing you have to do, I will do the thing. It's just extraneous things where I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this thing. I don't know if you want to have a conversation with me. But if like if like everybody expects me to say stuff, I'll say stuff.
That's what I call, that's my party anxiety.
Yeah.
When I go to parties, I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to make this all about me. I don't think I'm supposed to start, performing, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is I always like feel like, oh, I shouldn't do that. And then the moment I start doing it a little bit, everybody's like, yay, that's what we want from you. If you're going to be at a party, it's like hang out with everybody and tell funny stories and goof off. But yeah, sometimes I just feel weird. I just don't quite feel social, but I can still stand in front of people. I can even still like do sales and stuff like that.
Wow.
At conventions and stuff, even if I'm not really feeling it. But then the moment it's over and it's just me and another human being, I struggle.
Yeah. I can understand
horribly.
that.
I can push it, but like, you can definitely tell my mood if I'm like out doing something by if like after I've done something, I'm like standing with a group of people again, just afterward, hanging out and laughing with them.
Yeah.
That means I'm like doing real good. I'm feeling really good in general. So, and most of the time I feel pretty good, as far as social stuff goes, but sometimes I don't. And it's very hard to explain to somebody that it just doesn't quite check the same boxes in my brain.
Yeah.
So, but I feel bad because I don't want to be like standoffish or crummy. And that's like my biggest fear is that somebody will be like, oh, he didn't even want to talk to me. It's like, actually, I kind of desperately wanted to talk to you because you're like nice enough to want to talk to me.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just tired or I don't feel good about myself, to be like very candid.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. Where the hell was I recently where I was like, I think it was the show that I played. I was like literally trying to talk to someone and I just kept not being able to before my set.
Like that scene in Terminator 2 where like no sound came out of her mouth when she was screaming?
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, that's it.
Well, I used to, I feel okay saying this now because I was in a really rough spot emotionally when I started like playing open mics and eventually shows. I used to play open mics and literally as soon as I was off stage, go into my car in the parking lot and cry.
Yeah,
that used to be like a regular part of my life.
I'm sorry.
Because it was like I'd be done and then people would want to talk to me. I'd be like, I'm not a person, and I'd leave to go like cry. And then sometimes I'd come back and try, but it was just a weird sense of loneliness that would just wash over me. I don't know why. Well, and I was just really depressed in that time period.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, that was such a bad time. But the shows were fun. I remember having a really good time playing music and trying to entertain people. So, do you have a memory of like a terrible, like somebody trying to talk to you or you trying to talk to somebody, something that's really what I'm asking is, do you have anything really embarrassing that you could say right now? Like just super embarrassing.
Just about talking to people?
Yeah. Ideally at a show, but you know what? I'm not picky.
I mean, like, I don't even know if I could isolate it because, like, you're right. Because at the show I just played, like, there were like 3 times where I like almost said something, but then I couldn't remember
like
how
when
to say
like, a group of
things.
people were just chatting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But like, okay, I have something. I guess that might fill this, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
There was one time I was on tour and I was in North Carolina. I was in Greenville, which I like. So no offense to Greenville. I've always had good shows there, except maybe not that one. But but like I was waiting for the show to start, and like I guess some person thought that they could like have a conversation with me, and I guess I was like it was like the first day of tour, and I guess I was just kind of weird. So I think I had said like I'm just kind of like I have like really bad anxiety or something about like I was like way too candid, and then they like kept pointing. No, I don't even know if that was it. Like if I had said anything, but they were just pointing out how awkward I was the whole time. And then I don't think they were trying to be mean. That. Yeah, I don't even think they were trying to be mean. Like, but like it's not okay. And it made it really hard for me to socialize. And I was like, that's not good because like this is the opposite of what everybody wanted to happen.
Literally everyone involved did not want this.
Yeah. And then also there was a time I was on tour and I was hanging out with someone who like, I was like, okay, friends with, like a pretty good acquaintances. And I was just talking about how awkward I am in social situations and stuff like that. And then he like literally watched me be awkward. He was like, wow, you are really awkward. Like, why do you keep doing this? And I was like, fuck, dude, come on. Like, why would you think that this would be good?
I mean, man, even I couldn't do that. And I'm weird. Like, I'm weird about like talking about things. What?
Yeah. And then there was the other time more recently where somebody just like called me out on being awkward when we hadn't even had a conversation about it. And like, that was weird. Yeah. That's all I got.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that? Do you just like collapse inward or
yeah, pretty much. But I try to be nice.
Like what do you like? Just you smile or what do you do? Like how do you handle it?
Yeah, like I just do whatever I do, I guess, which is just like be nice to people and hope that they go away so that I can cry. So
and then you just lay down on the ground and roll slowly away.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's nature, gave you those instincts for a reason, so you could escape predators.
Yes, yeah.
So. Well, I'll take it away from something so unpleasant. So let's go to, so how can people follow you on Spotify?
I don't know. Oh, no, like no, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not even sure you can. Like, I don't really use Spotify very much, so I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen until I realized that people were. So don't follow me on Spotify if possible.
So what screen name should they avoid to not follow you on Spotify?
I think they could probably figure out based on what my name is.
So if they searched Michelle Antisocial on Spotify,
they probably shouldn't do
it.
That. Yeah, they probably shouldn't do that.
Okay.
Like,
so don't
really
do that.
Really though, like you don't understand. Like it's not going to be good. Like you're not going to go like, wow, she has really good taste in music. No, that's not what's going to happen. You're not even going to be like, wow, these are things that I didn't think I'd like, but I do. That's not what I use Spotify for.
You just use it to listen to the thong song?
Yeah, pretty much. No, but yes.
But yes. What could people hope to, or what would people be, safe from if they did not go to Spotify? Like, what is the greatest sin that is going on there?
Okay. Because this is I might as like because who the fuck cares? It's just my life here. Listen, like I just use Spotify right now to listen to anime OPs. Like that's it.
Oh.
So like please don't follow me on Spotify.
I should have known that was where it was going to go, because that's always whenever you start apologizing for your existence, it's usually anime related.
Yeah.
What's your please.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, what's your favorite, like what are some of the songs, the music, the from the shows that you pull up?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that I can't get on Spotify, which is a reason that I'm not going to pay for premium. Like because it's fucking Japan and then just don't have all the stuff. But but it's like pretty much like I just listen to like whatever is current right now, which is I guess in like the anime J-pop world or something. I don't know. I literally like just use Spotify for that. So
that's all you use it for.
That's literally all I use Spotify for. Because every time I'm like, oh, let me try to listen to this artist. Like I ended up going like, I don't really like that person. I use like YouTube if I'm gonna listen to like more like alternative-y stuff, or like Bandcamp, or like I buy stuff. But like Spotify is literally just anime. So
you don't want to tell us like one of your favorite cuts?
I like, really?
Yeah,
oh,
why not?
We're really gonna do this? I like, the stuff that, what's that band called? I can do this. Really dumb band name that sounds dumb because it's I'm sure the English isn't their first language, but Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which I think is a stupid name for a band because it's already something else. I kind of like their stuff. And they had a song, and I don't know what it was called, but it was in the 2011 version of Hunter x Hunter. It's like the first ending that I really, really like. It's like super weird and like a combination of like, what genres would it be? Like some sort of weird hardcore, but like with like weird techno thing going on. I don't know. It's just super weird and I like it. So, and then that, and they've done it, I guess. And then there's, like the TTGL opening that I like, and I'm trying to learn on guitar, but we're not going to talk about that.
You're trying to learn it on guitar?
Well, I have. The problem is that like, it's like, what do I want to do with this? And I don't know.
It and put it on this show.
What? I'm not. I mean, I'd have to make sure that like it sounds good before I did that. So.
Okay. All right. But I still think that I'm going to follow you on Spotify, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't not.
But you don't want to know.
I don't want to know. I want to know.
No.
I think I want to know.
Okay.
Thanks for listening. You can email us at thisshowIsAwkward@gmail.com or go to awkwardshow.com or whatever. See you next time.